What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony, and appreciate everyone who is liking, subscribing, and interacting with me and commenting. It means a lot to me. Helps me stay motivated to keep doing this channel. It's not for any monetary reasons. I've said that before, but I just really appreciate it. I really do. Today I am wearing my Rolex GMT 126710 BLNR. I haven't worn this watch since I got back from Nashville. So this is about the first time in a month. I've just been all over wearing either my Zenith or my OP. So yeah, it's nice to put this one back on. So having said that, I'm not gonna roll the intro. I think I wanted to talk about what I think are the best Rolex ADs in the country. And when I say that, I'm really only gonna be talking about two, I guess. So I'm gonna roll a little video and we're gonna talk about Finks, and I've spoken about them before. And I'm fully believe that if a company is a good company, then I think it's worth just letting you guys know. You know what I mean? If they're not good, sometimes I won't even say anything. But in this case, they had their grand opening, and I want to talk about that for a minute. So let's roll the video I'm going to roll, and we'll get it.
Got me feeling rough. It's been a long week, long round week. Keep that good time spinning on repeat. I don't wanna hear no sad song. I don't wanna hear no sad song.
All right, so here's the thing. I live in Los Angeles. My AD is, to me, the best AD in the country. They're 10 minutes away from me, and that's Bindi Jewelers. You guys watch my channel enough know that I go to Bindi Jewelers. My sales rep's name is Juan. Also friends with the owners. I've got an amazing relationship with them, and I just love everything about Bindi Jewelers. And they have their grand opening party coming up on the 14th of December. I don't know if I should be saying that, but it's a private thing. So I will be going to that. And I also went back and forth emails with Ellen, who's the president in the United States of Zenith Watch Company. So she'll be there, and I'm really looking forward to meeting Ellen from Zenith, man. And so I'm stoked. But what I want to do is I wanted to talk about Finks in Nashville. Again, you're talking about Finks. Yes, I am. But not just because I want to talk about them. Really it comes down to, what are good ADs and not so good ADs, and I've said this, and I'll just kind of iterate the story. When I was in Nashville, and I was with Lincoln, we went to one AD, the Cubic Zirconia basement, I think is what they're called. I'm just kidding. I actually don't even really remember the name. So, was not impressed. Didn't get a good vibe at all about them. King Jewelers in Nashville. They are not a Rolex AD, but they sell everything else, and they are freaking amazing. So I recommend, if you're in Nashville, check out King Jewelers, and then if you're into Rolex, go to Finks. That's, as far as I'm concerned, Finks is the only AD in Nashville at this point that I think is worth, by far, checking out. Okay. Now, having said that, my buddy Lincoln, if you've seen my past videos, he's got several Rolex that he bought from another place. And when we first went into Finks, it was like they just welcomed us in like we were family, and they didn't know who we were, we didn't know who they were. They'd only been open for 5 days. But we just on the spot sort of developed this absolute connection that really, really was amazing. And so having said that, I know my buddy Lincoln's getting a day date, and a specific one. It's not like they didn't have any to sell him. He's just very specific in the watches he wants. So having said that, I've been in touch with Jeanette. She's the store manager, and she's phenomenal. Just one of the kindest people, and especially in the position that she has, she doesn't have to be that way. And it just goes to show that even though I'm in Los Angeles and I already have my Rolex AD, but she's still, really being super kind to me and whatever. Anyway, so Lincoln got invited to the grand opening party because they were only open for 5 days when we were there. And so they had the grand opening on Thursday. It's now Saturday, so just a few days ago. Now, I was also invited to that, but I couldn't make it. I couldn't get out to Nashville to make it. I wish I did, but I was there in spirit. And in the meantime, I was texting with Lincoln, plus he's sent me some video, as well as Jeanette. And so I'm basically right now at this point living vicariously through Lincoln, because I talked to him after he got home, and we talked for quite some time about his experience at the party and whatever. So I'm just going to reiterate some of the things that he told me. And so basically, he was planning on going there and just obviously hanging out, and wasn't sure if he was going to get a watch or not. But as it turns out, that apparently they had about 80 Rolex, and everything on display, everything they had was for sale. So it was a free-for-all. No wait list, no nothing, no BS. These watches were for sale. That's freaking cool, man. One of my viewers, I don't know if his name's Courtney, and just a super nice guy, man, sent me a DM, stated that he met Lincoln, and he ended up getting his wife the OP 36 turquoise for his wife. They had a freaking Tiffany turquoise for sale. No wait, just went in and bought it for his wife. That is so awesome. I don't know a lot of 80s that would do that kind of thing, you know what I mean, where they just open the floor for anybody. Now keep in mind, it's a private event. You're invited to go, whatever. They had live music. They all took a photo, a bunch of people with a wrist shot for me. Apparently, my previous video that I didn't sit well with the diamond, whatever the other Rolex AD's name was. Didn't sit well with them, and they weren't happy with it because I was praising Finks. Well, you know what, man? I'm just being honest. I don't have any malicious intent. I don't have any ill will towards anyone. I'm just going based off of my experience, and simple as that. If you are a critic at a restaurant and you go to eat food, and that's your job to write a review on what type of food it is, and you go, well, I didn't really like this, but I really like this, then that's your opinion. That's my opinion of how I'm doing this. Again, I've got the sales rep at that other place, nice enough guy for the most part, but still, you know what I mean? I have to go by with what I know and what I've experienced. I'm not gonna do any type of review if I have never been there, or I've never, it's like doing a review on a watch you don't own. You know what I mean? It's nice to say, okay, well, I don't own it, but I'd like to get it, or I'd like to get my hands on one, or based off of what I see, whatever, right? So, needless to say, the event over at Fink's in Nashville was a really great turnout, and I have some pictures. I'll throw up a picture. Jeanette, very beautiful, just classy, looks great. Lincoln there as well. Everyone was really nicely dressed and very well. It was just a very well put together event. There was a live band playing as well. And again, just a free-for-all for Rolex, right? Now, on top of that, I also did a little bit of research on, I looked at their Google reviews for Nashville. Keep in mind, there's not a whole lot of them because the store's only just been open, but they've got stellar reviews already. And people that say, hey, ADs kind of scare me. They give me it's a bad taste in my mouth, and I understand that. It does for a lot of people. But going into Fink's was like a breath of fresh air. And I can totally agree with that, because now I've been there, and I correspond with Jeanette, you know what I mean? And she's awesome. Mikey's the sales rep that Lincoln's dealing with. Hi, Uku. You want to throw me off and make me get all not know what I'm going to be talking about? Come on. So, anyway, it's been a sort of, it's been a positive experience for a lot of people. Finks have made a really good impact on the community already. And so Lincoln also had spoken with the owners of Finks as well. They were there in town for the grand opening. And they've been around for, okay, you got to get off me. anyway, the owners were in town. Lincoln was talking to the owner of Fink's, and their philosophy is, they've got a really good philosophy. It's basically like, don't judge a book by its cover. Look, walk in LA, man, you walk in, you don't know who that person is. And the same in Nashville, but the same everywhere. You just treat people with respect and kindness. There's no excuse for a Rolex AD or any AD. Patek Philippe is notorious for being kind of, not assholes, but just very like look down upon you, like they're better than you. You know what I mean? And that's not cool. Treat people with respect, man. And in turn, granted, if you walk in there and you're an asshole, then you deserve to be treated like, get the fuck out of my store. You know what I mean? So I really like the fact that the owner seemed very genuine in the way that he was talking to Lincoln. Again, I wasn't there, but he's just telling me, he's like, just sort of salt of the earth people, man. Like, just down to earth, no egos, no any of that shit. So I did a little bit more research on Fink's, and they have, from what I got, was 11 different locations throughout the United States. So if you aren't in Nashville or Los Angeles, because if you're in Los Angeles, I'm telling you to go to Bindi. Simple as that, Bindi. And not everyone has a great experience there, but then again, I don't know what kind of experience you have, because I wasn't there to witness it, because I don't know who's going in there being kind of an asshole or not. But having said that, just in general, if you take the philosophy of what the owner of Fink's was talking to my buddy Lincoln about, then I would say Fink's are probably the best AD in the United States. And if you can get to one of the Fink's, I think you're gonna have a better chance at whatever it is. Again, I haven't been into every store. I'm just gonna tell you, I do tell you that the one in Nashville is a very beautiful store. Definitely the best AD in Nashville. They had a shit ton of Rolexes that they were selling, and it was just open for them. And so I looked and found 11 different locations. So we have Fink's Jewelers in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So if you're in that area, go check them out. Fink's Jewelers in Charlotte, North Carolina. So if you're in the Carolinas, North Carolina, check them out. They also have Richmond, Virginia, Durham, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Roanoke, Virginia, Huntersville, North Carolina, Forest, Virginia, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Woodstock, Virginia, and Franklin, Tennessee. That's the Nashville location. Now, what I did was I went and Googled every store and went to every location online and checked out, kind of where they're located. Their stores are beautiful, man. The way they're laid out on the inside is absolutely gorgeous. Very classy. I mean, the whole operation is super class, What they did as far as this grand opening goes, and I know I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but with just selling all these Rolex for people that probably weren't expecting like any of it, like, oh my God, I can buy one right now without waiting. A turquoise OP, a two-tone Daytona, my God, Lincoln got a 41 millimeter OP silver dial. That was one of the ones he's on his list. He's waiting for his day date, and a Submariner 124060. And everyone had a really good time, and that's the coolest thing about it. So having said that, I'm really looking forward to the Bindi party next month. And I wish I could have made it to the grand opening in Nashville. I just couldn't. I couldn't get down there. So, but that's awesome. I'm glad everyone had a really good time. I know that there was a few of my viewers there, so I appreciate you guys as well. Glad you were able to get your watches and watches for your spouse or significant other. That's amazing. So you guys rock, and anyone who is looking for an authorized dealer in that part of the world, then I suggest you check them out, man, because they've been nothing but stellar, and they, again, what can I say? All right, man, so thank you again for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. You guys have a good birthday. Hey, whoa. Bye.